The Mystery of Blinded Eyes by Alaba Gabriel Idowu. There is an interesting story in the Bible, the story of Elisha and the army of Aram. The king of Aram was at war with Israel and soon realized that his plans against Israel were continually failing. Enraged, he assumed that one of his officers was leaking his strategies to the king of Israel. However, one of his officers explained that there was a prophet in Israel who revealed to the king of Israel even the words spoken in the king of Aram's bedroom. This revelation further angered the king of Aram, so he sent horses and chariots to the city of Dothan to capture Elisha. When the army of Aram surrounded the city where Elisha and his servant were staying, the servant became terrified. But Elisha said to him, "Do not be afraid, for those who are with us are more than those who are with them." 2 Kings 6 verse 16. Then Elisha prayed that God would open his servant's eyes. Immediately, the servant saw the hills filled with horses and chariots of fire surrounding Elisha. This revelation completely dispelled his fear, 2 Kings 6 verse 17. However, something else followed. As the enemy army advanced toward Elisha, he prayed to the Lord to strike them with blindness, and the Lord answered his prayer. Elisha then led them to Samaria. 2 Kings 6 verses 18 to 19. Interestingly, these men could still see physically, but the blindness inflicted upon them caused them to lose their sense of reasoning and discernment. They were seeing but could not understand. They were taking steps without knowing where those steps would lead. Each step did not take them toward their intended destination but instead led them straight into the hands of their enemy. To an onlooker, they would not appear blind, since their physical eyes were intact, but their eyes of understanding had been blindfolded by the Lord. Sadly, this condition mirrors the state of many people today. Their physical eyes are open, but the eyes of their hearts are dull or completely blindfolded. As a result, they wake up daily without a clear sense of purpose. They walk the paths the enemy leads them on, rather than the path God has ordained, because they are unable to perceive God's plans and purposes. Each step they take moves them further away from God's design, yet they remain unaware. Their ambitions revolve around money and mundane pursuits. Unknown to them, this is a dangerous condition because one can be heading toward destruction without realizing it. Those whose eyes of the heart are darkened have lost foresight. They cannot see what lies ahead. This is why people toy with sin and feel unbothered by it. The enemy has darkened their hearts to the consequences of their actions. They sow seeds that will eventually produce pain and sorrow because they cannot perceive the unpleasant harvest awaiting them. They misuse time because they cannot grasp its value. They waste their youthful years on frivolities and things that add nothing to their destiny. They are like the foolish virgins in Matthew 25 who could not discern the future and therefore failed to prepare adequately. They live merely to survive, because they are not walking toward a definite purpose. They also resemble Esau, who sold his birthright because he could not perceive its value. They trade gold for wood because they cannot see the worth of investing time to refine what is precious. Ultimately, God's investments in their lives go to waste because they cannot recognize His work in them. Present struggles, meant to be cherished, become sources of complaint because they cannot see the glory ahead. The church in Laodicea was lukewarm and boasted of its financial prosperity because it could not truly see. Scripture records, "Because you say, 'I am rich, have become wealthy, and have need of nothing, and do not know that you are wretched, miserable, poor, blind, and naked,'" Revelation 3 verse 17. When people are unable to see clearly with their hearts, as God desires them to see, they boast over nothing of true value, while God grieves over their condition. In contrast, those whose eyes are open, not only physically but spiritually, the eyes of the heart, walk purposefully according to God's plan. They are not paralyzed by challenges, because they know all things work together for their good. They see obstacles as stepping stones and opposition as an opportunity to glorify God. They do not give in to fear, knowing that God is always with them and will not fail them. They avoid shortcuts because they understand that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory that shall be revealed, Romans 8 verse 18. They rejoice even in trials, all because the eyes of their understanding are open. They are able to stand strong in faith because there is a strong correlation between faith and sight. Those whose spiritual sight is darkened are more likely to live compromised lives. They chase every opportunity that looks appealing, especially when it promises immediate relief. But when your eyes are open, you can stand your ground. You gain the strength to say no to what is wrong, knowing that God has something better prepared for you. Many Christians find themselves in this state of blindness not because of wrongdoing, but because they have allowed religion to dull their God-given sense of discernment. As a result, they despise wisdom, the very thing God calls the principal thing and urges us to seek continually. This is a call to self-examination. Be honest with yourself and assess the condition of the eyes of your heart. Can you see beyond your present circumstances? If the steps you are taking contradict God's standards, it is a sign that the eyes of your understanding have been darkened, and you must run to God for healing. Like the church in Laodicea, you need to cry out to God to anoint your eyes with eye salve, so that you may truly see. How to be set free from this blindness? 1. Run to God. True healing comes from God alone. When you seek Him wholeheartedly, He enlightens your heart, reveals hidden truths, and gives meaning to your struggles, fueling your faith. 2. Give your heart to God. Until your heart is given to God, you may not be able to discern His plan for your life, and you are likely to pursue many things without clear direction. Scripture confirms this, "My son, give me your heart, and let your eyes observe my ways," Proverbs 23 verse 26. Enough of playing games with God. Surrender your heart to Him completely and allow Him to guide your steps. 3. Embrace wisdom. A lack of wisdom is often the root of this blindness. Scripture says, "A prudent man foresees evil and hides himself, but the simple pass on and are punished," Proverbs 22 verse 3. Additionally, wisdom helps you understand your path, as confirmed in Proverbs 14 verse 8. 4. Walk with the wise. He who walks with wise men will be wise, but the companion of fools will be destroyed, Proverbs 13 verse 20. Associating with those who see beyond the physical sharpens your own discernment, while walking with the blind can dull your sense of reasoning. In conclusion, the story of Elisha and the blinded army of Aram serves as a powerful reminder that true sight goes beyond the physical eyes. It is the eyes of the heart and understanding that reveal God's purposes and protect us from deception. Many people today, like the blinded soldiers or the church in Laodicea, walk through life with their spiritual sight obscured, following paths that lead away from God's design, mistaking temporary gains for true blessings. Spiritual blindness is not always caused by wrongdoing. It can result from ignoring wisdom, failing to seek God's guidance, or allowing religion to dull discernment. Without clarity of vision, life becomes aimless, opportunities are squandered, and the consequences of actions are unseen. However, when we seek God, embrace wisdom, and surround ourselves with those who can see clearly, our spiritual eyes are opened. We gain understanding, foresight, and the courage to walk faithfully according to God's plan. Our steps become purposeful, our faith strengthened, and even challenges become opportunities for growth and glorification of God. The call is clear: examine the eyes of your heart. Cry out to God for healing, seek His wisdom, and walk with the wise, so that you may see, understand, and fulfill the destiny He has prepared for you. True vision brings freedom, purpose, and the ability to live a life that glorifies God.